Hello, beautiful creatures. If you're new here, my name's Cordelia, and this is my channel Phyrra, where I talk about colorful Gothic makeup and fashion, lifestyle, mental health, basically anything that catches my attention. People who wear black live colorful lives, as you know. And speaking of life, and just in case you don't know, I'm a SharePoint developer and I work full-time in the tech industry. I've worked in tech my entire adult career, from doing QA to video game development stuff, to online community management, to tech writing, to UX writing, etc. So it's basically where I'm very comfortable at. And unfortunately this year my job has taken up so much of my time, I've barely had any time for my passion projects, which are YouTube and blogging, because those are the things that I love that make me happy. So today's video is a Shop My Stash video, and this is going to be creating a DIY Gothic Charm School eyeshadow palette. So when my Goth auntie Jillian was lamenting about being unable to find her perfect eyeshadow palette, I reached out to ask her what colors she was looking for to see if I could maybe shop my stash to create it for her. Oh, you don't know who Jillian is? So if you don't know who Jillian is, she runs the website Gothic Charm School. She's also written the book Gothic Charm School, and I feel like she's been a staple in the Gothic community for a very long time. I think I first ran into her in my live journal days. She's very sweet, very kind. I will put a link in the description box down below to her website and to her book, so if you want to buy her book, you can. If you want to check out her website, you can. So initially the colors that Jillian said would be in her dream eyeshadow palette would be an ivory, a cool toned taupe, a cool toned pomegranate red, a cool toned blackened plum, and a pink red duochrome. So that really gave me a good starting point for some of my favorite colors, because I consider those kind of like berry colors. Jillian and I have a very similar skin tone. I'm a very fair neutral to cool yellow, and when exposed to the sun I turn olive. So I was pretty sure that the colors that I had in my collection, if they looked good in my skin tone, would look good in her skin tone, and that's basically how I started shopping my stash to pull the colors. I decided to try to stick to indie brands that did single eyeshadows, and so the majority of the eyeshadows for this palette are from Lethal Cosmetics, but I also included Terra Moons Cosmetics, and I have an honorable mention from About Face Cosmetics. So Jillian and I went back and forth with several different swatches of eyeshadows. These are the initial colors that I sent over to her. I'm going to insert a photo for you so you can check them out. My first attempt to find her favorites included Fahrenheit, Cascade, Frantic, Unity, Midnight, Night Call, Echo, Arsenic, Calcination, and Unearthed. The second set of swatches helped us to hone in on more of the options and included some duochromes and multichromes, because I couldn't help myself, and I was like, we gotta find ones that she's gonna find appealing. We discussed Circadian, as it's the color of my master bedroom, and she said she was actually looking at paint swatches for her house in that color. I love it. It's a gray that has a blue-violet undertone, and part of the reason I picked that color from my master bedroom is that it would make my purple bed, which is like an iridescent duochrome fabric, really pop, and it does. It looks great, so favorite color of mine. So the only color that was left at this point for Jillian's perfect palette was a pale, cool-toned pink. And the color that she wanted it based off of was Necromancy Cosmetica's a Gothic Romance palette. And it's one of the most unique palette designs I've ever seen, to be quite honest with you. This is the shade Wilted Roses right here. So I went through my eyeshadow collection, and the first thing that I found that matched the color was About Face Cosmetics Dionysus, which is a liquid eyeshadow. This was the closest thing that I could find to a dead-on dupe in my collection, even though it's a different formula. The other color that I found that was very similar was Sydney Grace Haven. Other than that, I only had eyeshadow colors that were in palettes that were similar, notably the Lime Crime Venus 3 color Dreamy, and from Natasha Denona's Triochrome palette, the shade Tungsten. Like, those were the only two colors I had that were like very, very, very close. So I know that by my eyes, Dionysus was the closest dupe for it in a single eyeshadow formula, but it's a liquid, it's not a powder. And really, I didn't have any other powder singles that were similar. Like I said, I'll show you the pictures of everything that I had that was close, but because of that, I have to say that Necromancy Cosmetica gets an honorable mention for having such a cool, unique, beautiful, pale pink matte. So there were two pinks from Lethal Cosmetics that were light pink mattes that might also fit the bill. One is called Crossroads and one is called Onset. And I let her know that these were possible colors, but I didn't have them in my collection, so I didn't want to go out and buy them just for this video. Also, Lethal Cosmetics has a very similar color to Terra Moons Blood Moon. The Lethal Cosmetics version is called Dark Matter. Again, I'm not gonna purchase another color that I know is automatically a dupe for one in my system. I know that I love both the Terra Moons Cosmetics eyeshadow formula and the Lethal Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. Although I will say that I think that I'm probably gonna hit pan on my Blood Moon. Like, that's probably the next shadow I'll hit pan on, because I've already got a really serious dip in it, because it's just one of my favorite colors to play with. So I'm gonna go ahead and do finger swatches really fast on my arm. So this is Moonbeam, and these are my bare arms. There's no primer. Moonbeam is a light ivory, and it really just blends into my skin tone, as you can probably see. This is Unearthed. It's the light pale taupe. This is like a natural contour type color for my skin tone. This is Lithophyte, and it's a deep taupe with purple undertones. And I definitely think you can see the like purpley gray coming through. And this is Dahlia. And it's an orchid matte. And this is Midnight. It's a deep purple matte. This is Cascade. It's a deep red. Or I think it's more like a brighter red than, yeah, it's a red. It's a cool toned red. And this is Unity, which I think of as like a wine color. So this is Blood Moon. Such a badass shade. This is Parsec. This is Allure. It's actually the main lid color in my look today. And last but not least, we have Arsenic. So let me zoom in so you can check these out on the back of my hands. Our multi-chromes. And then here we got our mattes. You can kind of get them all in one picture. So I went ahead and did swatches of each eyeshadow color on my eyes for you, and I don't normally do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and insert those now. In my opinion, there are several different ways to create eyeshadow combinations with this palette. You can do monochromatic two-toned looks with duos such as Unearthed and Lithophyte, Cascade and Unity, Dahlia and Midnight. You can do neutrals with a twist with Allure, Unearthed, Lithophyte. You can try red combos with Parsec, Cascade and Unity, or Parsec, Cascade and Blood Moon, or Arsenic, Cascade, and Unity. Purple looks are going to be so much fun with Parsec, Dahlia, and Midnight, or Allure, Lithotype, and Midnight. Okay, now you've seen eyeshadow swatches of each of these colors on my lids. You've seen swatches on my arms. You've seen my comparison swatches. Almost forgot to insert swatches of the DIY Gothic Charm School palette, the final version for you. So here it is. I have direct sun swatches. You'll have to let me know, what do you think about me shopping my stash to put together this DIY Gothic Charm School palette? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you are looking to pick up Lethal Cosmetics, you can do that at lethalcosmetics.com, their website, or at Camera Ready Cosmetics. If you're in the US, I would recommend ordering from Camera Ready Cosmetics, if only for the fact that it's going to be cheaper shipping and faster. But I've ordered from both Lethal Cosmetics directly and Camera Ready Cosmetics and had positive experiences. If you're looking for Terra Moons Cosmetics, you can find them on their website, Terra Moons. And yeah, so I had so much fun putting this together. The look that I am wearing today is using the palette. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this shop in my stash, building somebody's perfect palette. Thanks so much, beautiful creatures. I love you, and I'll see you next time.